verse in this week's Torah portion, Parashat Noach, tells us that Noah was a righteous man in his generation. That last part, in his generation, has sparked debates from scholars for thousands of years after it was first written. What does it mean to be righteous in his generation? Would he not have been righteous in other generations? With each generation that passes, values change. And as we look back on the past, it is very hard not to look at the main characters of history through a lens of modern morals and values. Things like feminism, abolitionism, and anti-racism are values that color many of our lenses as we look back on history, and we champion people who lived up to our modern ideals long ago. However, in contrast, that means that we can also look at historical figures and label them as bad because their value system did not live up to ours. Let me be clear. Things like slavery, anti-feminism, and racism are all bad things which should not be tolerated. And when we see someone in history who is ahead of their time, we should lift them up. But expecting people to meet our modern sensibilities as we observe them through a historical looking glass is unrealistic and unfair. The rabbis of old looked at Noah through that same glass and recognized that he would not have been considered righteous in Abraham's generation. There is much that Noah could have done, but didn't do. Argued with God about the fate of humanity, like Abraham did. Worked to help others in the face of impending doom, like Joseph did with his dreams. But we cannot expect these things from the character of Noah. Noah secured a promise from God that the world would never be destroyed again. This promise is exemplified every time we see a rainbow. Whether or not Noah would have been among the best of the best in any other generation, he still did what he thought was right and created a positive outcome for humanity. Someday, people will look back on what we are doing in the modern day and be disgusted by how backwards we all were. I assure you, we do not know all of what we are doing wrong just yet, but as we age, we will find out. I hope that just as we wish, the future will look back on us with grace, that we give that same grace to our own history and to that of Noah.